So it's still a good morning for everybody, and thank you for joining my presentation. What I will try to do is to explain a little bit more about who is EdgeImpulse, who am I, and how we can leverage using some generative AI tool to make computer vision development easy. And later on, you will be able to go to our booth to get more information. So my name is Amir Sherman. And some friends are asking me where you are based. So I'm based in the sky because I'm flying all around. And I worked at Aero Electronics for almost 20 years. And I decided 5 years ago to leave and open my own business development consultancy company. And I joined EdgeImpulse as a contractor to support. And I'm working for other companies as well, a secure platform company named Tistel, and EdgeAI company from Korea called Deepak. So if you want more information later on about them, you can ask me. And I have long experience in embedded system on modules, machine learning on the edge, security. So 25 years is a long time. And specifically today, we'll talk about EdgeImpulse. Now, there is this cycle of technologies. And what happened last year, finally, we started in 2019, the EdgeImpulse company, I joined it beginning of 2020, is that when EdgeAI will be ready. And last year, finally, EdgeAI is something that it's clear, demanded by customers to add to their application to solve a problem. And we see that. We see the demand. We see semiconductor companies focusing on that. We see technologies coming. And now it's really the time. So we see a lot of demand starting in 2025. And EdgeAI is split into sensing, to voice, and to computer vision. And computer vision, it's not only a big camera that we see in the outside doors and in the smart cities application. Computer vision can be this small camera that you can put on your glasses, AR, VRs. We see that. And this is the difference between cloud AI, where you're doing your AI in the cloud, going to the edge AI, going up to the tiny ML or endpoint AI. Different type of AI, but it's all type of the same thing. The only thing is that when you're going to do your inference in the cloud or in the edge. Now, in the past couple of years, because everybody was talking that edge AI is coming, there are so many technologies came. ARM, as a world dominant in IPs, announced multiple neural processing unit, the ethos, and you had companies like Alif Semiconductor use that technologies and utilize it in the latest technologies, meaning to drive from small GOPs to higher 1 TOPS and 2 TOPS. You had companies like Renesas announce the first microcontroller with a Cortex M85, utilizing helium to drive up to 600 GOPS in the micros. ST Microelectronics that is here, and all of them are our partners, announced the new STM32N6 that is driving 800 megahertz M55 with a neural art accelerator that is able to run 600 GOPS. And Siva is putting IPs for low-end microcontrollers to support high-end GOPS application. And this is on the microcontroller side. Now, in the microprocessor side, you have Renesas coming with 80 TOPS machines, and you have Advantech running with NVIDIA machine inside, and you have Qualcomm with from 20 TOPS to 100 TOPS microprocessors, and you have MediaTek with 30, 40 TOPS, and you have TI, and it goes on and on and on. All the semiconductor industry are now pushing to GOPS on the microcontroller side and high-end TOPS, and the target to have as lowest power as possible. Now, again, I mentioned Deepak. If you don't want a SoC, you can add an accelerator. So neither you want to add it or you want to design it. And the big problem they have is which platform to connect all of this, how I can simplify, because if it's a microcontroller, there was a presentation earlier about an RTOS or Zephyr and FreeRTOS and drivers, and you need a camera drivers for the microcontroller. And if it's a Linux machine, you need Linux and ISP support and secondary processing. There is a lot of things to do, and now I need to think about AI, data to deployment, super complex. So this is why EdgeImpulse was created in 2019, because what we understand, if I want to add AI to my application, I need to collect data, and then in a one platform, and then design it with a popular framework like PyTorch and TensorFlow using MATLAB. I need to test it manually, and then I need to compile it under a low-end compiler called TensorFlow Lite that it will run under the edge, and then I need to test it and go back. This is an 8 months, 1 year type of work. But there is a one platform that is doing all of it in one place. Collect, design, test, deploy, everything in one place, and this is Edge Impulse. This is how the platform looks like. So you can collect data from any type of buckets, sensing bucket, asset buckets. You can support, as I mentioned, sensing, voice, and vision, connect cameras. Inside, there is a tuner and a compiler that is open source, and we are able to support from building, training, up to optimize it. And the most important thing is that you can outsource it to a bare metal C code, or to embedded Linux, or into an RTOS, or to a mobile. Everything is totally there. Very, very easy to use. So if you didn't use Edge Impulse, just go to edgeimpulse.com, register free, and start to play with it. Now, we already have 450,000 of projects in our platform, and we are in a range of 5,000 per day, 173,000 of developers registered, and many customers that are using the platform. So it's already well-known 6 years company that is now running. Now, how it look like? You just go to the web and register, and this is the graphic user interface that you see. You can collect any type of data, and if it's a time series data, if it's an image data, vision data, if it's a sound data, you will see it in a very easy way. And one of the most important things in AI is data. Good data, good model, shitty data, shitty model. So it's all about data. And the problem is that it's very complex to get data. But we have the tool to do that. And what we started to do, and we'll talk later on today, is to connect that data collection with the generative AI tools. And this is part of the tool. After you have the data, you need to design it. You need to choose the right model that you want to use. If it's a vision model, YOLOs, or free models, or models that we created, or you can bring your own model. If it's a time series model, if it's a DSP type of model, whatever you need, you are able to do it in our platform. It's a click of a button, and if you want to go to the code, you just go to the advanced functionality, and you can see the Python code, and then adapt whatever you want. And in a really like minutes when you start, you already see how your data look like, okay? How it's clustered. Is it the right cluster that I want to have? And how it's going to compile and how much memory it's going to use if it's a microcontroller or a microprocessor, something that you are never able to do in a normal application. And then you test it. You are able to test it online in the platform. You are not moving from a different platform. And then you see the data explorer of your data, how it's labeled, how it's monetized. And in a really important phase of my development, I can see how much DSP code is being used to one mathematical algorithm for neural processing unit, or how the neural network is being used. And maybe I want to change it, and I want to drive a more on the neural processing unit and putting more time to my main processor to do something else. Again, everything is part of the tooling and the experience. And last but not least, you want now to finish. You want to see how it will work on your end appliance, on your development kit. A microcontroller one, a microprocessor one, a GPU one, acceleration one. And you just choose either a C, C++ library, or Arduino library, or ST library, or an ARM library, or a project from IAR, or Kyle, or NVIDIA Tensor IT, or TI solution, or Advantech, or Renesas, or Arduino, or Himax, and Infineon, can go on and on and on. Because my job at the company in the past 5 years was to onboard as many semiconductor companies and OEM to be able to support exactly this, that it will be easy for you. And it can go on and on and on. We literally support everything. And on top of that, what we did, we connected with NVIDIA Omniverse platform. The Omniverse platform, it's a digital twin platform that we have a API connected. So you will be able to create a synthetic data coming from the platform. And this is how it looks like. You just, again, part of your user experience, you're able to go. And I believe you think that it's a real palette but it's not. It's a synthetic palette that was created by NVIDIA Omniverse. So again, you need more tools to get more data. And this was a real customer's example where the idea was to put a camera in front of the pallets, the forklift, and then you will be able to recognize how many pallets you have and then use that. And it was a real customer from US named Bumbles. So we support even the NVIDIA Omniverse platform as well. So in the last couple of years, we will be able to achieve this. And this was really wonderful success for us because big OEMs like Advantech and Aeon and Particle and clearly all the semiconductor companies wanted to work with us. Neither they have their own tools, but they see the value of using the Edge Impulse platform. And IP companies. So we will continue to grow, winning the market. And then in March, last month, this happens. Qualcomm acquired us. And we become an Edge Impulse Qualcomm company. And I'm a contractor for Edge Impulse, a Qualcomm company. Why Qualcomm did that? They just want another tool to support their SoCs. Meaning, you have a Qualcomm hardware, and you want specific optimized to support the flow of Qualcomm chips. You saw they support from 20 TOPS to 100 TOPS. We are now part of the Qualcomm story, connected to the Qualcomm AI Hub, the test model, and we are literally part of the Qualcomm team, but business as usual. We will continue to support all the semiconductor companies, all our partners, and the platform still exists. But now with Qualcomm, we have more resources to add more functionalities to our tool, because this is what Qualcomm wants on computer vision market, and we support the general purpose market. So we started to invest and add more functionalities. And this is what we started to understand. Literally it happened in the last 1.5 years where everybody started to work with ChatGPTs and Claude and Mistral and all of these great GenAI models. So we now need to develop additional tools to facilitate and simplify EdgeAI for computer vision market. So again, it's all about data. And as long as you have better data, it will be better model. So if I will add more data, it will be good for me, and synthetic data is one way to do that. So as you can see, part of the platform, literally here, when you open, there is a function called synthetic data, and you click it, and you can see different type of APIs that we added. DALI, synthetic image generation, 11 Labs, synthetic audio generation, Whisper, synthetic voice generator, and every day, every month, we are adding more functionalities. What does it mean? It means that when I'm now doing a development of computer vision application, and I now need to create an industrial camera application in a street environment, and I want to differentiate between an empty street to a full street, I think that it will be very difficult to go in 2 o'clock at night and then take a vision cameras that there is nobody there. A car will all the time come. So if I will create view images on deserted streets, I'm able to get that synthetic data because it generated from the DALI functionality. And then I add it to my model. If, for example, we have several customers that are using hard hat or gloves type of application, so we are able to do that. And this is a simple example when we did. You see here there is no gloves, and when our lovely Jim is just putting his gloves on, you see that it's stated gloves. Okay? Again, it's a tool that now been API'd from the popular AI models to support. And if I want to add voice application, specific for keyword spotting, voice activation detection, I have now tools to do that. So we connected with Whisper. And for example, if you want to do a glass break detection application, this is a real customer application. So Louis here is explaining how in a very easy way you are jumping from the Edge Impulse tool, going to the other functionality tool, adding, generating key, and port it in. Look what we are saying, so glass break impact. Going here to 11 Labs.
Effect. I've been trying a couple of things. So here we will be trying to collect a glass breaking sound or breaking, actually make impacts. And if you navigate to the settings, you can define the length. So here I want probably 2 seconds, and the prompt influence, actually let me put something like 65%, and then I'm going to generate the sounds. We'll wait a couple of seconds, and then it will generate, I think, 4 different options. Here it is, so I can listen to them. That's actually a glass breaking sound. That's another one. Another one.
I remember
And another one.
more than 15 years ago when I worked with a company that was doing development for Securitas and Siemens on glass break detection. Literally, we went and we took hammers and started to break glasses to support them and do a recording on a tape and then transferred it to a wave and then start to do algorithmic on DSPs. This is how we did that. It took us 8 months only to finish that algorithm. Literally, you are able to do this type of application in 2 days with synthetic data. It's incredible, and this is how tools to support EdgeAI application and simplify your path to do it and come with crazy ideas that support what the market needs. So we continue to evolve and using different type of request models that are coming from our customers. So you can see pose estimation. Again, this came from a big AI model that you create, and then you see how the position look like, the velocity, the acceleration, because again, we support sensing data, we support sound data, and we support vision data, whatever you need as an EdgeAI. And this is an example. So you saw the vision one, you saw the pose estimation one, and you saw the sound one. And this is super important for us. And this was one part of adding GenAI to the functionality that we are doing. On top of that, you want help on AI labeling. AI labeling is also super important because again, in the end, you need to label everything. Everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, and what is true and what is not. So AI labeling features an extension way of integrating existing AI models into your workflow and using them to automatically label your dataset. This is already, again, part of our platform. You click on the AI labeling, and then this is how it looks like as an example. These are, you see, checks, and then you said where you have a piece, so you can see the pieces here. And think about it, that in the past, you need to do a bounding boss and say piece, and now piece 1, piece 2, and what is this? And then think about it now with an API of GenAI, it can tell you which one it was. Okay, are we talking about a king or a knight? In the past, you need to do it normal AI labeling. Okay, you need to pay to student, and he was just knight, different type of sizes and shapes. Just one prompt. And I put the link here on the GitHub, how easy it is. And this is super amazing. And we had a customer that is working on the medical application. And you can see here, I did a zoom in. So this is how a capsule look like. And very easily, when I want to work on that, what color is the capsule? And respond. And this is how it looks like. You see, first of all, it's which is a capsule and which is not. And the second is, what are the colors? Again, typical prompt that is taking data from a big AI model, part of your AI labeling functionality. Super amazing. Same thing here. Think about this type of tube. What is the level of the green liquid in the tube here? And you can see it. This is a 2-ish. Again, need more data. This is an 0.1, and this is a 0.7-ish. And again, you need to train it to get a better labeling. So this is super, super important tools for you guys to be able to work. AI labeling, AI tool for synthetic data, part of the Edge Impulse platform. So what we are here to do, now being a Qualcomm, Edge Impulse, a Qualcomm company, we have more resources to support your EdgeAI application. We create realistic data sets, fix data gaps, and label anomalies to improve the AI modeling. Because what we saw in the past 5 years, it's all about data. And if you have tools to make your data development easy and somewhere to deploy it under your Linux machine or NPU application or microcontroller application, we are here to support you. And again, we are in boot. Sally, which boot number? J6. J6. You can come to see a couple of the demos we did. And if you want my business card and have questions, you can ask me. Thank you very much. Some of our customers, Ultrahuman for wings. This is another wing that I've been using, and you can see I'm clicking here, and the ring have a display showing SpO2 and all of the data. Poly, HP. If some of you are using this and you have this type of remote and there is a call and you are not in your desk and the phone is not with you, you will ask you, answer or ignore. If you say answer, it will answer the call. Ignore or not. And this is very important. In the end, it's EdgeAI. It's on the edge. And this is type of the application and customers we support to production. And everything is totally free. Not. So the business model is very easy. You can go to edgeimpulse.com, just click on the right side, register, and you will get a lot of free data. And this just been updated now with Qualcomm. More minute per job, more wait for you to use it without a lot of limitation. When you want to go to production, when you want more users, you will be able to contact our sales guy, and they will give you an enterprise offering for a licensing. And it really depends. We are a SaaS model company. It can go from $1,000 per month with a one-year contract to $20,000 per month with a one-year contract, depend on the companies, depend how many seats, depend how many applications or computer vision, more data. We are hosted on Amazon. So this is the business model. And again, you can come to our team, and they will give you all the information you want. So we are simplifying EdgeAI development. This is our job. We are Edge Impulse. Each of you just go now, register free. You can get access to whatever you want. If you want and you need any question about me, about what I'm doing and how I'm supporting, this is my email. And again, thank you very much.